2021 is a great year for a business owner of an HVACR company to consider selling because, frankly, we've never seen this amount of activity occurring in this sector. It's been white hot for the past few years, but now that we're in a very low interest rate environment, continued interest in upgrades for energy efficiency standards, these types of factors are all attracting buyers to the sector like we've never seen before. There's really three things we see that are driving mergers and acquisitions in the HVACR market. Number one is greater demand for energy efficiency in buildings. Number two is globally there's just a greater demand for air conditioning. As some places are getting warmer, as people's disposable incomes are increasing, there's greater demand for air conditioning. Also, we see an increase in demand for cold food storage. As we can all attest, and during COVID, there's been a lot greater demand for delivery of food, cold food storage, which is all increasing demand for refrigeration services. The last thing I'll say is about the industry itself. HVACR is very fragmented. And what we mean by that is there's a few large players surrounded by lots of smaller players in the industry. And so whenever you have a fragmented market, it attracts buyers who look to consolidate it and roll it up, and that's what we're seeing today. There are several factors to consider when you're the owner of an HVACR business. One of those factors is age. And I'm not talking about how old is the business owner, how close are they to retirement. I'm talking about the age of the business, of people within the business itself. How old is your number two? Do you have field personnel who are in their 40s and 30s and still going forward with the organization? Because there's a common misconception with business owners that the buyer of the business is going to come in and simply replace them with someone within their organization. And more often than not, that's not the case. So it's very important to consider that you have a runway for growth for this business for the buyer, that you're going to be willing to stick around for a few years at least to help integrate the company into the buyer's organization. And so age becomes a very important factor. The other part of it that I would say to consider is the macro environment itself. What's the economy doing? Are there acquirers out there actively acquiring businesses like this, which is absolutely happening today with HVACR? And what are some of the driving trends like energy efficiency standards and demand for air conditioning, which is white hot right now? If you're an owner of an HVACR company, you might want to just consider picking up the phone and having a conversation to understand what your options are. Even if you're not near your retirement age, it's a great time to consider it.